Okay, so for this video, I just kind of wanted to talk about like this thing that's been in my mind, which is basically, I think the title of this video is going to be like why is lucid dreaming so hard, right? And I think like this is something that I think a lot of people struggle with because like what happens is that they go into into like the subreddits and into the discords and like there's lots of misinformation in there to begin with, but like people essentially it's almost like these people that are in the lucid dream communities will almost gaslight you into thinking that lucid dreaming is easier than it really is. And they'll say like, oh, it should take a week, 2 weeks tops, to fully master the skill. And that's not that. I mean, quite frankly, that's just not true. I mean, it takes time, it takes repetition, it takes like knowing your own brain, knowing your own mind, and just doing that and just doing that over a period of time to actually master the skill. And I think like a lot of people try to make lucid dreaming out to be easier than it really is. There are a lot of like clickbait videos that that talk about like the 99% success rate, and like how to lucid dream tonight, right? And they'll promise instant results, they'll promise the world, and then people try it, and after a week or 2 weeks, they're not lucid, and so they quit. Because when actually what needed to happen, and it's the same thing with like fitness. If you really think about it, it's like with fitness, right? People expect to go to the gym and like they work out for like 9 hours straight, right? And they expect to just get immediately fit. They expect to immediately get movie star muscles by just like going to the gym for like 2 weeks and then they quit because they worked themselves out too hard, or if they were promised instant results but they're not getting the instant results that they're looking for. But like with most things, like the key to lucid dreaming is consistency. The key to lucid dreaming is just like doing that over a period of time. And I think like why is lucid dreaming so difficult is that you're essentially mixing oil and water together, if you really think about it. And I think people need to remember, like, if you're someone who's like struggling to lucid dream, if you're someone who's like I've been trying for this long and I still haven't got my first lucid dream, or I still haven't gotten like consistent results, right? Like I mean, trust me, I've been there. Basically, to those people, I just want to say, okay, put it in context, right? Like you're trying to. I mean, this is like the human mind that we're talking about. Like this is no joke. This is no easy task. You're trying to mix awareness and sleep together, which is those two things just don't go together usually. But I mean, they can, but usually they don't go together. And to just say that, oh, that's like a trivial task, it's an easy task, like that's just not true. And you're basically just writing off the complexity of the human brain. Like every aspiring lucid dreamers individual circumstances, and people just write those things off as if it's just like, oh, okay, well, it's trivial, like as if there's like a cookie cutter solution for everyone, when every brain is different, first of all. So like, even though you might have like 10 people tell you one thing, the opposite might be true for your brain, right? And people say, and I remember like for in my case, I mean, people said, oh, you can't focus too hard, but for me, focusing harder was actually the solution. To getting better at my practice, like focusing harder, having more intent, which is the opposite of what a lot of people say when they say, oh, you just need to relax and you didn't need to not try so hard. But going back to what I was saying, like lucid dreaming is difficult because of the complexity of the human brain, because of the uniqueness of every person's circumstances, and because of the fact that you're trying to mix awareness and dreaming, awareness and sleep, which is no trivial task. Like nobody understands the human brain, nobody understands what awareness is, nobody understands why or what dreams are for. And so you're trying to make something that no one understands, do something that no one understands, while it's doing something that no one understands. In the words of Daniel Love in one of his YouTube shorts, he says like you're trying to make something that no one understands, do something that no one understands, while it's doing something that no one understands. And if you put it in that context, I mean that really gave me the motivation to persevere and to stay consistent over a long period of time. Without quitting, because you're trying to make like the most complicated biological computer do two things that nobody understands simultaneously: be lucid, be aware, nobody understands that, and dream, which nobody understands. You're trying to mix those two things together, And you know, lucid dreaming, like it like really is a field where that really not a lot of people understand it as much as they say they do. And you know, like, and the way that there's so much misinformation in the lucid dream community, and the wrong piece of information can mess you up for a very long time. And on top of that, like people have these cookie cutter sort of solutions to lucid dreaming which don't fit every person's brain, right? It's like every person is unique, every person has unique circumstances, and I think people need to realize that, as to like why is it that like for the average person, not for like the super talented person, like I got lucid in my first week, right? Like not for those people, for the average person, why is it so difficult? Is because it takes time and the brain's complex and every person's situation is unique, right? So, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to make a short little video about that. Like, why is lucid dreaming so difficult for most people? Which you know, and if it's taking you a long time to get lucid, then just know like, okay, you're not crazy, you're normal. Lucidity does take time, it does take effort, it does take repetition, and yeah, I mean, just keep going, you know. Yeah, yeah, that's the video.